said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike. And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Rickey Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Rickey Smiley can't act because Rickey Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one... Why no... He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he... What? So Rickey Smiley knows this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Rickey Smiley was okay with.
Now we're about to watch Rickey Smiley give his account of what happened with the Money Mike in the Santa Claus role in Friday After Next.
You stole the show in Friday After Next.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Why we go through this, man? Brothers. I believe we related, but go ahead.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving-ass Santa Claus.
Right, and then, because Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, you know, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham, came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending where they got the fighting or whatever. The ending was me Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended, so they changed the ending.
Right.
So I had to come back. The scariest thing was laying down in front of that limousine.
Right.
And you better hope and pray that he got it on drive and not reverse.
Right.
Because that was real.
Okay.
But I had to really lay there while that limousine peeled off.
Right.
So they allowed me to get up about 3 or 4 times to go and look at it to make sure. I said, go up, I put it in reverse. I said, put it in drive, put it in reverse. So I got comfortable. I said, okay, let's go. I said, hey, we're going to do this one time. One time. So they actually did it twice. And that was scary. And the part where the Santa Claus got with the clothesline.
Right.
When we were laying on the ground, we was in a real backyard somewhere south of LA.
Right.
Shannon, why was maggots in the dirt? It was somebody's backyard for real. The dirt was infested with maggots.
Katt Williams and Rickey Smiley's story aren't really too much different, except Rickey is claiming that Katt was initially supposed to play Santa. Katt felt overlooked because Rickey portrayed Money Mike as if he owned the role already. So that's where Katt felt slighted. And although both of them auditioned for the role, obviously Katt outperformed them. Now we're about to listen to Rickey respond to Katt Williams' interview. This is being said to be his first initial response. So let's check this out. It's a 10-minute clip, so prepare, man. Chill out.
Comments on Shannon Sharpe's show about when I was on Shannon Sharpe was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET. And that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, man, hey, man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But
and if I'm being honest, that's how I mostly discovered him.
And he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharpe's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character that was
right.
Just,
so Katt, I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that. And I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to L.A., they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus. And here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone just to clarify. Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification.
You just wanted to bring the receipts. I got you. We got you, Ricky.
You know, you was my manager at the time. We went to L.A. together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, you know, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, you know, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. You know, we really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that was literally Katt's first movie. You know, Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Katt Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, you know, the rest, as they say, was history. But, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt, you were auditioning for Money Mike. we were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I end up being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast. So
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that was the.
I just wanted to clarify that. And then there was no contract ever that. In agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time, and it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant. And that was a lot of fun. Right. And it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Katt. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this. But That's the truth, and I don't know what else to say. So there it is.
There's not much else to say. It's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, "Wow, that's absolutely amazing." But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time, and then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, "Katt, what's up?" Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, "Come over and have a cup of coffee with me," because he was walking over to Starbucks, and I went over. And he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, "Hey man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan." He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150 and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, "Keep doing what you're doing, young man." My granddad was living at the time. It was just me and my granddaddy in the truck. And we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it. And I thought that we were good. I didn't know that we had any issues. And if there are any issues or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize. And I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. That's just the honest to God truth. And I did audition for what I auditioned for, and I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this because, comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine. Richard Pryor played some roles on his show. Jamie Foxx played Wanda. Martin played Shanae. I did Bernice Jenkins. Tyler Perry did Medea. It's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it,
Don't do it.
That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because
it's a prop. It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a way to get a laugh. I mean, back in Shakespeare's time, there were no females playing females' role. Every female role was played by a man. It's just part of an art form. It's part of what makes it funny. You bring the funny to it. I wish that I'm sure you remember. People don't know about this. The pilot that you shot for the Kings of Comedy TV show, Bernice Jenkins had a whole sketch with Medea.
Yeah,
People
I did a sketch with Medea, me, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Niecy Nash. We did a thing called The Pew. It's supposed to be like The View, but it was a church-based version of
Oh, my God.
The View, and it was just comedy great to see Bernice Jenkins, the character, and Medea. And I started off doing Bernice Jenkins doing prank phone calls on the book.
The one thing I want to say is I commend Rickey Smiley for acting like a gentleman and somebody with integrity with this response. I don't like for my people to be out here arguing and doing all this. These are two legends in my eyes, and I don't want their history and legendary status to be tainted with this drama. So I'm sure they will talk it out and settle this at some point, and that's all that we can hope for.